Should I drop names into a cover letter? That is a great question. There can be some compelling reasons to drop names, but before we get into those reasons, we need to define what we mean by name dropping so we are all on the same page. So what is name dropping? Name dropping is like references on steroids. Maybe the person whose name you mention works for the company you are applying for. Maybe they are well known in the industry. But most importantly, you think mentioning that person's name might give you an inside track. Your referral might be a friend, a colleague, someone you work with, or an employee of the company you are applying to. So you don't simply list this person on your reference sheet. You want to emphasize your relationship with this person, so you place their name right in your cover letter. When done correctly, dropping names can make you look informed, connected, and it may even give you an inside track. If you have been referred by someone in the company, your application is no longer a cold contact. Name dropping can make you stand out from the crowd. Recruiters and hiring managers will pay closer attention when they share a legitimate contact with you. From an employer's perspective, hiring internal referrals is faster and cheaper than going to job sites, utilizing applicant tracking systems, and sifting through piles and piles of resumes. Hiring managers tend to see a referral and a shared connection as a warm contact, as opposed to a cold call. You will have a leg up on cold calls. We don't push our clients into name dropping, but if you are confident you can do it without anything bad happening to you, by all means be our guest and go ahead and name drop. In fact, if you decide to name drop, here's some guidelines that we suggest for name dropping. If you are going to drop names, mention them early in the letter. Don't make it look like an afterthought. Don't say things like, hey, by the way, say hi to Jessica in sales, and you say that at the end of the letter. It doesn't sound very confident. It doesn't sound like your relationship with Jessica is very important, and it just isn't good form. In this example, you start the cover letter with the name drop. Dear Ms. Prada, on the recommendation of Julian Giles, the supervising manager of the plastic mold extrusion division of your company, World of Widgets, I am applying for the position of sales executive posted on your website's career page. This is good. It sets a professional, business-like tone for the entire letter, and it tells the hiring manager that you know something about the company. You are going to need to be able to describe the connection that you have with the person whose name you dropped. Now, you have to tell them whether you work together. Maybe you served on a board together. Maybe they're your neighbor, whatever. But you're going to have to be able to do that. You can do that in the letter, or you can save it for the interview. I like saving it for the interview, but ultimately that choice is yours. Don't assume the contact and the hiring manager know one another. You need to take the time to find out and make sure that they do, because if they don't know one another, at best, you're just wasting your time, and at worst, you're looking foolish. You need to check and you need to double check that the person that you're going to use as a contact is okay with being named. This is the most common way people get in trouble. They don't check with the person and they go ahead and name the person, and bad things happen. Be sure it's totally okay with the person who's being named. Here's another example of name dropping. In a previous position with Riddick International, I worked with Dr. John Hennessy, who is now part of your managerial team. In this position, I manage major projects, and I believe the skills I gained in leadership and project management would, and so on. This paragraph would likely show up in the middle of a cover letter. The applicant knows a current employee at the company and cites that he has worked with this person. And finally, make sure that your contact knows exactly what you're saying about them. Let them read the cover letter. Send them an email with the cover letter in it so they can read it, and also then you have a record that you sent it to them. You don't want somebody to be able to come back later and say that you never told them what was going to be in the letter. Come join us at careershaperresume.com. Subscribe and be sure to leave your comments and suggestions. They do get read. Ring that bell. We update every week, and we'll see you on the other side.